Hi, this is Kate Nunsuch. Today I'm going to talk about marking for confidence in English, and I'm going to use as an example doing some proofreading with a student to check for periods. Marking for confidence means that I'm going to mark what's right, and I'm going to try and get the learner to talk about how you know what's right. In this case, how do you know when to put a period? I'm going to ignore all the wrong ones, and as you can see in the example I have here, there's lots of periods missing. One thing about periods that I know for sure is that if a learner gets 80% of them right, then the problem is not that they don't know where to put the periods. The problem is they don't pay attention, or they don't remember, or they don't think about periods. So really the focus is on trying to get them to think about periods, not so much on teaching them where they should go. If they only get half of them right, as is the case here, then probably they're not quite sure about where to put a period. So I'll start here with the learner, making sure that the learner knows that when we proofread, we just proofread for one thing at a time. And in this case, we're not going to look at spelling or any other punctuation. We're just going to look here for checking for periods. So I'll ask the learner to read the story out loud to me. Yesterday I went to school with my daughter. Her teacher asked me to come. Ooh, I say, hold it right there. I see you put a period there. And I saw, when you got there, I heard a little pause, and I saw your shoulders go up when you went to take a breath. So I knew that there should be a period there, and sure enough, there it is. Good for you. Correct period. Could you just keep on reading, please? So she starts reading again. I didn't want to go. I don't like to go to school because it gives me the creeps. And I stop her again. Probably she's read, I don't like to go to school because it gives me the creeps. I hated school. And I stop her and say, good. I want you to notice that this period here is excellent. You say, I don't like to go to school because it gives me the creeps. And here you're talking about I. You say that I again, and often when you say I or he or she, you're going to have a period just before that. Not always, but often. And I heard you pause there, and I saw your shoulders go up as you took a breath getting ready for the next one. By this time, the learner is noticing that I'm paying attention to periods, and so she begins to pay attention to them a little more, too. I hated school when I was a kid. The other kids, oh, she might say, there should be a period here. So I'll ask her to put it in. She puts it in. We'll get that capital in. And I'll say, so how did you know? How did you know to put the period there? It's right. And she'll say something, probably something like she's just heard me say, like, well, I just noticed that I took a breath there, so I put the period in. So I'll ask her to keep on reading. The other kids picked on me. They called me, oh, I'll stop her again here. Excellent period. Why? Why did you put this period here? How do you know a period should go here? And she will explain to me how you know where a period goes. They called me stupid. Now, because this one's at the end of a paragraph, probably she'll stop here and say, oh, there should be one here. I'll say, how did you know? Well, she says it's the end here. We're going to start a new one here, and so has to be a period here. Good for you, I say. Exactly right. I used to play hooky and stay home. Again, I'll stop her, and we'll go over how she knows that the period is right there. And we'll just go through this. I ignore the ones that she got wrong, because really learning to proofread is an ongoing thing. And she may, in the next round of revising this piece, find some more periods missing, or she may not. But what I'm doing here is making her feel confident that she can look for periods, that she has some idea of where they go, and mostly that she pays attention to them. I learned this technique from a student whose name was Bernice. I remember Bernice taught me a lot of things. But one day, what happened was Bernice had written something, and she said, here, it's ready to be handed in, ready to be typed up so everybody can read it the next day. I said, well, could we just read it and see where the periods go? Oh, it's all right, she says, I know where all the periods go. Not to worry about that, just hand it in. I said, well, Bernice, maybe you could read it over with me and I'll just make sure that I know all the words in case the secretary has any trouble when she's typing it up. Oh, all right, Bernice said. Well, I looked at it, and of course Bernice didn't know where the periods went, even though she was so confident. And I said to myself, ooh, what's the most to my advantage here? To convince Bernice that she doesn't know anything about periods, or to try and work with her confidence that she knows everything and help her figure out how she knows where a period should go. So that's really when I started marking for confidence, with proofreading particularly. And that's marking for confidence.